In this episode, we are updating the ToA Army Painting Project 01. Welcome, hosts, to an almost empty, you can probably hear the echo, Throne of Angels video blog. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Derek Osborne, here to show you a world in miniature. Oh man, as you can see behind me, I have packed up most of this room. Closet of Shame is now empty. Books all packed. The only thing that's left really is my painting station and what's on top of my painting desk. All my drawers and shelves and everything else inside of my painting desk is packed and ready to move. Man, I love the moving process. It's so fun and entertaining. Last time it was, like a real big pain in the ass. I didn't actually want to do it. This time, still a real big pain in the ass, but quite honestly, I really don't enjoy living in this little tiny town. I know small towns are for people who love them. They are not for the Oz. I cannot stand not having a Target within driving distance. That's right, a Target. Something simple. The nearest Target is an hour and 40 minutes from my front door. Pain in the ass. Anyways, so where are we at? We are slow rolling. Obviously, I have been focusing on a couple of other things. I spent 2 days in Georgia here this last week. I had a couple things to take care of. Some work to catch up on and get started. A new project for a new company. And obviously pack out 2077. That's the house number. But yeah, with that, I did get some progress done. I got, I think, 90% of the reds done on my test model. We had a look at the test model last week. I got the metals on him. Those are not highlighted, they're just the base metals. I probably am going to put some blue. I'm hesitant to use the word glazing, but it's about as close as I'm going to get. Some blue tinting to the metals to give them what I would consider an outstanding contrast to the bright reds that I'm putting on these guys. I really actually like the Wrath color. It's very much a Blood Angel orange. It's fantastic. But I've been spending way too much time on this guy. I had one day this week that I had hobby time. I had about 4 hours and it was all literal red blending. I put a lot of time into red blending, which I normally don't do for tabletop projects. But I was having so much fun, I just didn't care. That happens from time to time. Now, where are we at progress-wise? Well, as of today, 19 days. 19 days left in this location, which means probably 2 more episodes after this one. Then there'll be a break as I try to figure out what's what. I am packing my paints in, little hobby paint things. I've got the Reaper one here that's got some Reaper paints in it. I've got the Army paint stuff. Whatever the hell just fell on the floor, probably a pin. Yeah, it was my pencil. I label everything, red label everything. I've got all my paints as lined up and labeled. Portable wet palette, that's important. That's the Army Painter wet palette, the small one. I may very well take the exemplar with me as well, as I really like that wet palette. It's performing well above expectations. So, yeah, there'll probably 2 episodes and then a break for a week, and we'll start back up, maybe at the kitchen table. But we will see. So, gonna be another short episode. Let's jump in, take a look at the test model. I'm hoping to have him done this week, and then starting in on the rest of the models that need to be done basically into next week. So, let's have a quick look, shall we? All right, here we go. Okay, quick and simple this week. Obviously, enforcers in the front, subjugators in the back. I literally have done nothing here and nothing here. All the work has been right here on this dude. You can see I still have my chaos boys in the back there as a constant reminder of things I need to do. I actually also pulled this guy out because I want to do a little more work on him. This is an old Tiernabour model from the Rackham Confrontation range. He was a model that I'm not going to say I felt was finished at the time, but at the time he was in a place where I didn't think I could do any more work on him, and that was probably 15, maybe 20 years ago. Let me see. Yeah, it would have been early O's when I painted that guy. So long time ago. I'm going to revisit him, do some updated paint work on him, fix the blade, deepen the shadows, and adjust the non-metallic metal. But that's another story for another time. Let's take a look at this Captain Enforcer boy. So this model is fantastic. Let me adjust the light really quick and we'll get the zoom action going on. Man, it's really dark in here today. And I even have an extra light going on right over here. Maybe that's why it's dark, because I've got this light set up probably incorrectly. So let's move this up here and this over here. That gets us a little better light. So as you can see, I've spent a ridiculous amount of time doing reds. So this guy probably has, I don't know, 30 different layers of red across his helmet, his chest, highlights on his arms, legs, right? I spent a ridiculous amount of time just playing and having fun with the reds, like 4 hours. It just, you know, this is obviously the colors that I'm using. So again, to go back over it, this is my essential base coat, right? Dried blood red. And I'm actually using it to shadow some things, right? If you look in the crevices and creases of his tunic there in the back, some of the areas in his armor plating, like in and around the central spherical piece of his armor. This is the primary color, Freak Flex Ripper Red, followed by Dragon Red. I am actually using the standard war paint color as I apply it with a brush. And then top highlights are coming on with Wrath. And I don't remember what color this is in the standard line. And quite honestly, I'm not gonna dig it out because I'm super happy with this. Now I will say I am mixing these two 50-50. So we are getting not quite the really bright orange, and you can see that that's right here, right? It is, like I said, it is very close to a Blood Angel orange. Very, very cool. This is the color right here that I'm hitting that top highlight with. Using the wet palette, of course, getting all of the functionality out of this exemplar. Really, really enjoy it. But up next, I think I'm going to basically hit that Wrath by itself in a couple of the high corners, so to speak, right? So very top of his armor plating on there, very top of the armor plating on his head, right by his eyes. And then I'm going to start in on the metals, right? So from the metals, probably going to add, like I said, a blue tint and give that a little contrast, which will splash against this red really, really well. One of the things I really actually enjoyed was how the leather on this holster came out. So the leather on the holster, I started in red, and then basically I started blocking in the shadows with a 50-50 mix of the dried blood with just a standard black, right? My favorite black is the dead black from Zombicide. All of their blacks are the exact same black, whether it's Oni black from the Rising Sun paint set, dead black from the Zombicide, or the matte black, makes no difference. They're all the same paint. But my favorite black is the Army Painter black. So again, on that holster, 50-50 mix, and I was just basically pushing the shadows with those two colors, and I've got this nice reddish brown leather, just using the three colors that make up this primary paint job. Fantastic. So things like that allow you, know, if you think about it, things like that allow you to be really creative with your color applications without actually moving paints and adding them to your color palette. Right now I'm using literally 5 paints, right? The 4 reds and black, and that's it. So 5 paints No, I lied. 6 paints because I'm also using gunmetal, which is the standard base metal that I generally tend to use from the Army Painter, and then I'll add a 7th by highlighting it with shining silver, and then probably a splash of blue tone. So 8 total paints with this set. But again, going back to the blacks and the reds, I'm literally using 4 different paints to get black, red, and brown out of that entire color series. I mean, and that's cool, right? So really happy with where this guy is at right now. Like I said, I'm probably gonna hit one more red highlight and then jump into the metals. I'm gonna do more than likely just a single highlight with either a really bright elf or stone gray, maybe an off-white, like a gray white. But for the most part, it'll be really high and very subtle in regards to where it hits, right? So I just basically want high point lighting on the blacks, with the exception of the boots, because they're probably a leather, I would think. So we'll experiment a little bit this week. He should be done this week, and then I will move on to getting the rest of the squad squared up. Blacks, the initial, I didn't even wash this guy. So basically the initial splash of color for the various areas that we did our shading with the dried blood. And that's that. So let's hit that wrap right quick. And well, my phone's telling me it's time to work out. Woo! Time to hit the gym. All right, guys. Off to that wrap. Rolling right back quickly for that wrap. So the wrap is going to be short and sweet. Just like taking a look at that guy, the captain, Captain Bob, Captain Steve, Captain Joe, Captain ABC 15, I don't care. Makes no difference to me what the hell we call him. But close to done with the reds, as you saw, metals are applied. I'll probably do just a single, really heavy highlight on the blacks, like I said. And you know, from there, we're off and running with the other subjugators and oh man, why can I not remember the name of those guys? Palanite subjugators are the big ones, Palanite enforcers. Whoa, man. All right, obviously I am not getting enough sleep, and my diet's right out the window. I am still, however, hitting the gym on the regular, so that's where I'm going right now, out to the other garage to lift some weights. So with that, as always, thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see y'all next week. You're live in 3, 2, 1, ready, go!